we went through a lot. I always remember when we was in school, well, we always felt that we was happy because we didn't know nothing else outside of our community. The only thing I said was, then it was three high schools around, Hanley and Jameswood and Douglas. And no matter how good we was in sports, we was always on the back page, whether we won or we lose a game, which that didn't happen too often, not bragging. But I mean, it's just things that now you look back on, but when we was growing up, we didn't know these things. You know, we was segregated, but we was happy. And then I sit and tell my kids and grandkids, even just recently, my granddaughter, which is 37 years old, and she something this summer, she lives in Ohio. She's like, Granddaddy, I want you to sit down and tell me about you growing up. I cannot believe that you was 50 some years old before you went into the Hanley Library. I said, might have been close to 60 years old. And, you know, just things like we didn't know when we went to the theaters, we had to set up in the balconies. Or we went to the restaurants. You go in, stand inside the door, and you order something. They put your food in a bag, and you go out. But we was happy because that's the way things was. I guess, I hate to say it, but we knew our place back then. And I just, I'm just glad to see that things are changing some. They're not totally, but it's much better than when I was growing up. I mean, sometimes I even feel bad about it because I look back and say, what was we robbed of, but by not knowing? Because, you know, we got secondhand books. I mean, we got books from Hanley. The people that already wrote into them. And it just, then we didn't know, but now, as you think about it, and then even I go up to football games at Hanley, it just brings something up in me that, but I'm glad my kids, my grandkids, some of my nephews, they did get the experience going up to Hanley and Jameswood, but, and then I sat back and say, why not me or why not us? But I guess the time wasn't for us then, but we couldn't go to Hanley. But if you go down on the basketball courts or out on the football fields around some of these places, we all play together. And I still have some white friends today that we played basketball together, football together. You know, you could play football in an open field. It didn't have to be a football field. And then we used to have some little playgrounds around. We played basketball. We could play with them then. We was best of buddies, but we just couldn't go to school.